With the recent rumors of Jodie Whittaker leaving the role as the Doctor, there has been wide speculation on who will be the 14th Doctor. Right now, the fan base either talks about the god-awful timeless child story, or who will be the next Doctor. It also seems that Chibnall will be leaving as showrunner as well. If that's the case, then I will be excited to see who the next Doctor will be. But if he is still the showrunner, then the 14th Doctor will most likely suck due to the awful writing. I'm going to be positive, and I'm going to go with the assumption that Chibnall will be leaving with Whittaker. So I will be putting my opinions on the 14 actors who will be a good 14th Doctor. It's a shame because I think Whittaker could have been a good Doctor, but Chibnall has been giving her good scripts and awful writing. I'd much rather be having a new showrunner because I would like to see what Whittaker could do with decent writing for once. But I guess I will have to wait and see when she arrives on Big Finish one day. Back to my list, I tried to mix my list with actors who are known and actors who are not. And I feel I found a good balance between the both, because usually actors who have been casted as the Doctor either are really known or kind of known or are completely out of the blue. With that all out of the way,
come with me and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look and you'll see into your imagination.
I would like to say a few honorable mentions on who I think can make a great Doctor. My honorable mentions are Hugh Jackman and John Hamm. If you can't tell, these guys are honorable mentions because they are both not British, but I think they could make excellent Doctors. And I don't see a problem with having the Doctor not be British. Isn't it kind of weird that Gallifrey as a planet only has people who have only one accent, and all of them happen to be from the UK? Real life explanation is the show is made in the UK, but I think a non-British actor could make a good Doctor, and Time Lords could also have any other accent as well. The closest thing we got was Eric Roberts' portrayal as the Master, but that kind of did not count because it wasn't the real body of the Master. It was a snake thing, so it wasn't really the Master or a Time Lord in a way, but that kind of didn't count, and I still want to see a non-British actor one day play Time Lord or the Doctor or the Master or anything. Anyway, Hugh Jackman has shown to have the range of someone who is serious and a little goofy, so he could be a real serious or lighthearted incarnation of the Doctor. I would be excited to see that. John Hamm could also make a good Doctor off of his portrayal in the young Doctor's Notebook. First off, he has a really good British accent, so if he needs to have one, because they want all the Doctors to have a British accent, and I saw a lot of Doctor-y characteristics in that performance. I highly recommend a young Doctor's Notebook because, one, it's a great show, and two, you can see what I am talking about with John's performance. Alright, now on to the list. Coming in at number 14, I have Florence Pugh. Now, I know she is now in the MCU and is probably going to be busy doing that for a while, so she might not have time to play the Doctor, but I always thought she would have made a fun, quirky Doctor. Florence has the range to give powerful scenes to show the trauma the Doctor has had over the years while having a fun energy to her. She can make a fun Doctor that could be quirky, but not in a way that's over the top like Jodie's version. But I feel like it would be an intriguing Doctor. Hope one day she could play the role when she is done in the MCU. Coming at number 13, I have Alan Leach. I feel Leach could bring a sort of Doctor that likes to be positive but not over the top and not too dark. Leach is most famous for Downton Abbey, and I have seen a few episodes of that show, but not my kind of show. But he was okay in that show as a whole. I know him most from The Imitation Game. He has a great range to play the part of the Doctor, and I feel he could bring off the hopeful Doctor as well as like someone that needs to be serious when it has to be. I think he could bring a bit of charm to the role as well, a charm that we have not seen since David Tennant. Once again, from the things I have seen him in, he has all the characteristics to make a good Doctor, and I think he could be a good choice to play the role. Coming in at number 12, I have Ewan McGregor. Now, you might be thinking, a big-time actor like Ewan has no time for TV. But he does, because he is currently working on the Kenobi TV series. So if he can do that, I think he could do Doctor Who. Ewan really could take the role in any direction he feels like. He could be dark, funny, happy, silly, grumpy, anything. He could take any kind of approach to the Doctor. I would rank him higher, but the actors ahead of him, I feel like could bring a more doctory feel to the role, if that makes sense. Also, I feel I would see too much Obi-Wan Kenobi in his portrayal of the Doctor, so that's why he's at number 12 and not higher. Coming in at number 11, I have Gideon Emery. A bit of an unknown actor, but you might know him best from Teen Wolf and 100 Days to Live. What I've seen from him, he's a very underrated actor. I think he could bring a good range to the role and also have a little bit of grumpier performance, but not super, like, you know how Capaldi was, like, from series 8 of Capaldi. I feel like he could be a lot like that, but he's younger than Capaldi, so it could be kind of an interesting take on the Doctor. He's like in his 40s, 50s, I believe, and I think he could be just someone that's like series 8 Doctor, like someone that's struggling with something. You know what I mean? I think he could have a real dark side to him, and I feel he could take the Doctor to many places. I would be very curious what he could do with the role, and I would be excited to see it. Coming in at number 10, I have Stas Nair. Stas is another bit of an unknown actor. I mostly know him from Supergirl and Krypton. From the things I have seen him in, I feel like he could bring a fun energy to the role. I mean, he has charisma for sure, but I feel he has similar qualities to Matt Smith. He is a young actor at 30 years old, and I see him bringing in this old man in a young man's body type of thing, like I said, similar to Matt Smith's Doctor, but I feel he could be different because he could bring a bit of intelligence to the role. I'm not calling Matt's Doctor stupid or anything, but Matt had this wing it kind of vibe and be like, oh, that went wrong, let's figure something out. But I feel like Stas could bring this, I have a plan and it should work, to the Doctor. A bit of confidence. I feel like the 11th Doctor was missing confidence a bit at times, but I feel like Stas' portrayal of the Doctor could bring confidence and be like, I command the room, I know what I'm doing. That's how I feel about him. I feel he is a good actor, definitely very underrated. He definitely has a presence to star in his own show of some kind, if not the Doctor, something in the future. Hopefully he gets his break in his starring role, but I feel he could make a good Doctor, and he's a bit of an unknown, so it could be like going back to the Smith era, and I feel like he could bring something cool and interesting to the Doctor. Coming in at number 9, I have Jack Cutmore-Scott. Another unknown actor, third in a row, I know, wow. The only thing I know him from is one show called Deception, which was an okay show, but what stood out the most was Jack Cutmore-Scott's performance. The way he portrayed his character in Deception felt a lot like an American version of the Doctor. The way he interacts with everyone felt like the way the Doctor would interact with his companions, because in the show he had a team around him and they were kind of like the Doctor's companions. Trust me guys, watch a few scenes from the show with Jack in it and picture Jack with a British accent, which he has in real life, and instead of him explaining magic, he is explaining timey-wimey time travel stuff. You got yourself a brilliant Doctor. Coming in at number 8, I have Richard Armitage. I believe I pronounced the last name right. I might have butchered it. Sorry. Another actor who could play the Doctor in many different ways, similar to Ewan. Like, he could take the Doctor in a fun tone, dark tone, whatever he feels is most comfortable that he wants to play the role. But I feel like he could do a better job at exploring the Doctor's tragic side, like all the things he's experienced in his life. Because I think post-Time War, you have to have a bit of tragicness to the role. And I feel like he could do a good job at exploring that. He is an exceptional actor who could show the wide variations of the Doctor's emotions, and he could command the room, and he has that vibe of, like, listen to me, I am going to save your lives attitude. I would prefer a darker Doctor coming from him, but he could do many different things, like I said, with the role. Whatever he would do, it could work, and I'm sure it would be a brilliant incarnation of the Doctor. Coming in at number 7, I have Andrew Lincoln. We all know what he is best known for, The Walking Dead, and he played the iconic character of Rick on the show. As great of an actor he is, unfortunately he could not save the massive decline that was The Walking Dead. He was great in the show, and I feel he could be a great Doctor as well. He could be a more grisly and a badass Doctor that takes no BS from anyone. I could see him being very alien-like and a little bit distant from humans, except from his companions. But his version of the Doctor could be one that we have never seen before. I'm not looking at a major kick-ass doctor, but someone that's a bit more serious, but not to the point where it's emo. Something that's a bit more of Pertwee's level. I think he could do something very unique with the role by taking it into a serious, darker direction. Coming in at number 6, I have Georgina Campbell. Now, I think she's kind of in the middle when it comes to her fame. Like, she's not super famous and she's not super unknown, so it could work for the Doctor, and it's kind of perfect because you don't want someone that's like already super known, and it's kind of a good balance when you're coming into the Doctor role. I mainly know her from Krypton and Black Mirror. Man, she's one hell of an actress. Very underrated. She is young, and it would be going back to having a young Doctor, but I feel she could bring an adventure to the role while having a lot of emotional range. It's like Indiana Jones as a woman combined with Doctor Who. Like, who wouldn't want that? I sure would. For right now, she would be perfect for the role, but the actors are ahead. I feel were more born for the role, and I think they've been deserving to play the role for a really long time. I would probably rank her higher, but the next 5, they were born to play the role. I don't get how they haven't gotten the role yet, so I think they deserve the chance to get the role before her, and hopefully one day she decides to play the role. Coming in at number 5, I have Michael Sheen. Now, what's there to really say about Michael Sheen that hasn't already been said? He's an exceptional actor, great talent, great range. I don't know. I think he could make a great Doctor. I think a lot of the fan base really wants him to play the Doctor. As soon as Jodie was announced to be leaving, everyone was like, Michael Sheen, and I agree with that. He was born to play this role. I don't get how he hasn't played the role yet. I think Michael Sheen would be a great Doctor, similar to Capaldi, but a little bit more goofiness. I think Michael Sheen can bring like a fun uncle energy vibe to him, but someone that could be like, maybe like a strict fun uncle, if that makes sense, because Michael Sheen could be very serious. I think he could play a lot of very emotional, tragic scenes, could give great speeches, just like Tennant and Smith and Capaldi did. Especially Capaldi was like the king of the Doctor speeches. I think Michael Sheen has that ability to give out great speeches and deliver it like exceptionally well, and I think Michael Sheen would be a great Doctor. It could go in many different ways. I just want to see him as the role. He was born to play the role. One day, hopefully, he plays it. But yeah, Michael Sheen, I would love to see that. Coming in at number 4, I have Charlie Cox. Man, Charlie Cox is a great actor, best known for his roles in Daredevil and Stardust, and he's been in a ton of things. I've also seen him in the movie Hello Carter, which he was good in that as well. And funny enough, that has Jodie Whittaker in it, and it's a bit of a Doctor Who connection there already. He went from playing a character like Tristan Thorne to playing Matt Murdock. I think he definitely has talent to play the Doctor, and I don't think people remember, like, he was kind of like I don't want to say he was like Doctor. He's played like roles like the Doctor. He's played comedic roles. He's played really serious roles like characters in Daredevil, and playing that role of Matt Murdock, playing someone very tragic. I think he definitely has talent to play the Doctor. He has played a multitude of different characters, and I feel we could get kind of a kind Doctor coming from him. I could see his Doctor having a bright, bubbly, charismatic personality, but could get really angry if he has to. If he became a Doctor, it would definitely be something to look forward to, and I feel he could bring in a performance we have never seen before coming from the Doctor. Trust me, guys, he's been great in every single genre that he's been in. Comedy, humor, serious, tragic, whatever, you name it, he could play it, and that's why I believe he could be a great Doctor. Coming in at number 3, I have Jan Griffiths. Now, I've been wanting the Griffiths to play the Doctor for such a long time. He's always had that energy of being a good Doctor, and I don't know, maybe he could bring like a sarcastic Doctor. I mean, I feel like I could see him playing a type of Doctor that likes to mess around, and he could portray the role very alien-like. I have seen him in a ton of things. I always picture him making a great Doctor. I really see a lot of the Doctor in his performance on the show Forever. I really want him to play the Doctor. He has all the qualities, and I've been wanting him to play the Doctor for such a long time. He's always had that swagger to him. I think his name has been put out there a lot. I really want him to play the Doctor. I think it'd be something very interesting to watch. Maybe, and I feel like he has a little bit of Paul McGann vibe to him. I don't know. I think that would be something definitely to look forward to if he ever got the chance to play the Doctor. I really want him to play the Doctor. Coming in at number 2, I have Hayley Atwell. Atwell would be such a great casting for the role. She could bring a bit of sass along with a warm and exciting spirit. I think she could really pull off being a grandfather in a woman's body, and I think it would be a great watch as the Doctor. I always wish she was the first female Doctor. For the longest time, when people thought of a female Doctor, I always thought of Hayley Atwell. The main reason why I wanted to see the Doctor as a female is because I really wanted Hayley Atwell to play the role, and I thought she was, because I know a lot of fans wanted her to play it as well, and she's just so perfect for the role. Like, I thought for sure the role was going to go to her. I think she deserved to be the first female Doctor. But maybe one day in the future she will play it, and I hope she plays it really soon. She would be so badass in the role, and maybe she could bring that Pertwee James Bond vibe that the Doctor had during the Pertwee era. And speaking of a Pertwee, coming in at number 1, I have Sean Pertwee. Oh my god, I want him to play the Doctor so bad. And it's not because his dad played the Doctor, and it's more that I know he could be such a great Doctor in general. He could bring a cool grandfather vibe to the role, which has not been something we have seen. He could pull off the tragic side of the Doctor really well. It's like he could have this hip, cool grandpa vibes. So want that for the Doctor. I want to see that really bad. A lot like Alfred from Gotham, which he played. I would love for him to one day be the Doctor, and I think right now would be the perfect time, because he's like at that perfect age to play that cool grandpa vibe that I want to see from him when he ever takes up the role. I think right now is the perfect time for Sean Pertwee to be the 14th Doctor. Well, that was fun to do, but those are the 14 actors I feel should play the 14th Doctor. Hope one of these actors could play the Doctor one day, because they would all make excellent choices one day down the line. I just hope Chibnall is not the showrunner when one of these actors ever get cast, because Chibs will just waste the talents of a great Doctor. But yeah, that's my list, and I guess we'll be around this time in 3 years discussing 15 actors that could play the Doctor, because I'm sure my list will change because actors get older and maybe their style would change. You never know. But for right now, I think these actors should play the Doctor immediately. But if Chibnall is still the showrunner, then I don't want any of them to play the role.